Hey, you. It's a blind life. And welcome back to the It's a Blind Life podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who wanted to make a podcast just talking about our lives as blind people. Because we do that, we just talk about different random things about our lives, different things that people might not normally think about as a blind person, you know, that it's normal for us, but other people wouldn't think about it.
In other words, we talk about what we want when we want.
Exactly. You know, hey, we love when Belle helps me try to get a point across.
I don't know what is wrong with me today. I'm just full of snark and attitude.
You are, and we love to see it.
More so than normal.
We love to see it. So that being said, we're back, baby. We, of course, had to take off for a couple weeks because we were moving. And today, we had said at the end of the last episode, we're going to talk about the eye doctor.
No.
Guess what? We're not doing that.
I don't want to do that, so we changed the plan.
We changed the plan, and instead, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about just this moving experience and everything that happened and the pure and total insanity that occurred in this move. So, that being said, I feel like to properly tell this story, we have to go several weeks before the actual move. So, several weeks before the actual move.
Well, why don't we just start at the beginning of the year?
Which was the beginning of the year. Pretty much our roommate came back from her break, and she had said, you know, she was going to be moving out. She needed to go back home, which, you know, we understood. So at that point, it was kind of like, well, we need to find a place that's going to be good for Belle and I, as we just have to live on our own. And so we started looking at different apartments.
Well, okay, for the record, it was possible to stay in that building that we were in. Belle was getting sick and tired of college students and the bar that was outside my window.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just going to be better off for us to just skadoodle.
Yeah, that was a chance for us to move, so we took it.
Right. So we started looking at different places. We started, you know, just touring different places, talking about, you know, the different things that they offer, that kind of stuff. And, you know, there wasn't really, like, there was one that we kind of liked. And actually looking back on it, I'm just kind of like, that would have been annoying to live there, you know, at that place.
Yeah.
As much as it was very nice, it was also just kind of like, well, yeah, I just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I didn't like management, but I liked the building and amenities.
Yeah, exactly. So we were just kind of looking around, and we thought we had decided what we were going to do, you know, and we were going to just get that process started. Well, that, like, a couple days before, you know, we were going to make a decision, our dad calls and he's like, hey, I found this little house. Why don't you all go? Like, they're looking for someone to move in, like, immediately, which if we can get Belle out from being able to hear the bar all the time, we want to take that because she couldn't sleep. Like, it was just getting to be not great for Belle. And so they were just kind of like, you know, hey, just see what you can do. Like, you know, see if you like it, see if you can make it work, and we'll see what we can do. So we went down, we saw the place. We actually really liked it. And honestly, I do like the place that we're currently living.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it is very nice. And so our roommate was just kind of like, I mean, I'm only going to be staying there for a few months. So yeah, I think I could make it, you know, we could make it work. And we were just like, okay, great. Well, we're doing that then. And in 72, it went from we're not moving until, the end of the year to like 24, not like 12 hours later, we were moving.
Yep.
And so it was very, very fast. Like we had said, I think in both podcast episodes before the break, it came up very quickly. Like that is literally how it went. Like
it was literally, we were like, okay, we like the house. We know for me and Arya by ourselves, this house will work great.
yes.
Like for what all we're planning on doing and we're moving towards doing, this house works great for the two of us. We'll have an extra bedroom that will be like office space. Plus, like, it will have the spare bed. If parents come, Arya can take that bed and they can sleep up here.
Right. Or like we can move all around. Like
we can move
fine.
things around, and it works really well for the two of us and for like our needs.
Right. Exactly. So we were just like, let's do it.
And so and when we were like talked to our father, we were like, okay, here's the thing. It may be like a bit tight until our roommate moves out, but like it's only a couple months. It'll be fine.
Right.
And it is.
And it is. So
he was like, okay, then we're doing it.
yeah. So pretty much we were all just like, we kind of like the house. We're moving. So literally
then came the debacle of furniture.
Oh, yes.
That came next.
So this, of course, the place that we originally lived in wasn't furnished. Or was furnished. So, we didn't really bring anything except for some little like odds and ends that I had, that I wanted to bring down, just little things, right? And, just bookshelves, that kind of thing. So we were just like, okay, well, we are going to need to get furniture because if I'm getting furniture.
Well, this place did come furnished.
It did, but I
said, I'm living here for 2 years. I want to sleep in my own gosh darn bed.
Exactly. So.
And the parental said, I get it.
Right. So from there, we pretty much.
Well, originally it was they were going to bring furniture from home.
Right.
But then snow.
Well, yeah. And then they started talking about it and they were just like, I mean, we could bring a set, but like. We would have to bring a trailer and like that would be a whole thing. And it would
like
just
all the snow in the mountains that we have to drive through, and Dad wasn't 100% comfortable with it, and we weren't 100% comfortable with them doing that anyway.
Right, exactly. And like the one set that I had that we were gonna bring, it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was something that my dad had gotten, and it was just like, I don't know.
Got it for real cheap.
Yeah, he
paid it for like
cheap.
$45.
Yeah, he got it like a whole furniture set for like a couple $100. Like it was super cheap. And I was just like, I don't know that I want that here. Like, I don't know. I don't want it. So we started looking online for, places that we could go to get furniture pretty cheaply. Found a place, went in, we were just like, okay, we want to do this, and this. And then there was just a whole debacle. We're not going to get into that because it was just...
Buying furniture sucks. Long story short,
yes.
We spent an entire weekend in this gosh darn furniture store. Arya couldn't math. It was a mess.
It was very bad. But we got it figured out eventually. Got everything set up the way we needed to get it set up. It worked out. So then... The weekend of the furniture debacle was the weekend before we moved. So that week, it was trying to pack up as much as we could, but honestly, we had sent all the boxes home when our parents came down for Christmas, like just several weeks before.
Yeah.
We had sent all the boxes home, so we didn't have anything to pack anything. And so our parents were like, no, it's okay. Like, we'll come down kind of like the day before the rest of, everybody else comes down. We'll work on packing things up so that way it's ready. And then,
we'll move the next day. Spoiler alert. This is the plan we were told that was happening.
Right.
This is the plan we were told was happening.
So, parents come down.
Parents arrive Wednesday. like Wednesday afternoon, pack Thursday, aunt and uncle arrive Friday, and move.
Yes.
That was the plan that we were told.
That was the plan.
That is not what happened.
Here's what actually happened. So parents come down Wednesday. We unload all the boxes and we're like, great, okay. Aunt and uncle, who helped us move down here in the beginning when we first moved down here, they came down as well. And they showed up a couple hours after our parents did. Not even a couple hours, but like an hour after our parents
It was like
did.
2 hours or so after our parents showed up. And we were like, what is happening?
So we were just like, okay. So then, of course, like we had to go out to eat. Like we had to do this. We had to do that. I went with my parents from our old apartment to the new house. And we just kind of looked around. And Dad was like, yeah, this is going to work. We're going to make it work. We're going to do this. It's going to be great. Like, we got this. So we were just like, okay, it's going to be fine. Literally, we went out to dinner. And then afterwards, my parents were like, well, you guys go ahead and start packing. And it was just like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and start that. Then Thursday was packing. But also, I think they got the trailer then as well, right? Yes, they did.
Was it? I don't remember because all while this is happening, I was still in school. So I'm like trying to work on a paper, do my readings, do XYZ. Like,
Or no, we didn't have the trailer on Thursday.
no, I think they got it Friday.
Because I know we only had it for like 2 days, but I thought it was 3 for some odd reason. I don't know. So we start packing everything up. No, they had to have. They had to have had it on Thursday because we started moving stuff down on Thursday so we could like kind of unload and reload boxes.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't know. I wasn't there for that. I do remember I kept getting texts.
Yeah. It was literal insanity.
It was utter insanity because, again, I'm at school and I'm the one who makes decisions in this family for some unknown reason. And so, like, I'm in class and I just get text after text after text. Where do you want these to go? Where do you want these to go? Where should we put this? Where do we put that? Like, XYZ. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of property. I cannot answer the gosh darn phone.
Yeah. So it was pure chaos because it got to the point where it was like, okay, we've got a couple boxes here. Where do they go? And like start moving them to where they need to go and try to unload them the best that you can because you need to take them back to reload them and bring more stuff down. And it was just...
Yeah, that was that was Thursday. And then was Friday. Friday was a mess in itself.
Oh my gosh, Friday.
So when we bought our furniture, me and Aria both got full bedroom suites.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful sets. They're really well made. We could have only gotten like what we needed because like I know for me, I didn't need 2 nightstands. However, in my case, my set was pretty much like once they sold what they sold, it was gone.
Right. So she wanted to get like a full set.
So that way I had it because like now these sets are ours. Wherever we go next, they're coming
with. And honestly, like I love the set that I have. I think it's really pretty.
It's very Dr. Seuss Alice in Wonderland-esque.
It is. And it's just very fitting. Like it's just like, I don't know, it just makes me happy.
Yes.
And like
our parents were very proud of what we picked out because in my scenario, I couldn't see mine in the store and I literally bought it off of what the dresser looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
It was like this whole big thing with that. Well, when we set it up, with how it ended up working is my name got put on the account.
Right.
So they're like, okay, well, we're like, okay, we need this delivered this Saturday. And like gave the date and the address and stuff. And they're like, okay, they'll call you the day before to let you know like the time frame.
And I tried to make sure, like, hey, will you call my number instead? Because we knew that Belle was in class. So it was just kind of like, you know, we want to make sure that they don't call her.
And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. They took down Arya's number and everything else. Well,
the day before, me was just like, you know what? We need to make sure we have your phone just in case they mess up. Like, because they said, we're not going to call you again. Like, you know, it's you get this one call and that's it. And I was like, we need to make sure that
we get
this call.
Because, like, for me, that Friday was I had contracts in the morning at my normal time. And then I had to go to the museum that's kind of corner to my school that we, like, use the auditorium for. Because the law review was having a panel and they discussed artificial intelligence and, like, its effect on the legal field. Well, I could get a professionalism credit that I desperately need to graduate. I need, like, 18, and I think I'm up to, like, 10. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to this thing because, like, this semester, none of these events have worked for me to be able to go to. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going. It is what it is. It's fine, right? And so I go, and I'm just like, that was a whole mess in itself. People that I didn't know wanted me in a picture with them. And, like, it was these 5 guys all dressed in suits. Like, this does not matter, but this is my embarrassing story of the entirety of my life. And I was literally, the thing that I got, the invitation said business casual, everybody. Business casual. So I was in a pair of nice jeans, a black button-up, and, like, my pink vest. Very business casual. These guys are in, like, 3-piece fancy suits. Like, I'm just like, what is happening? And they're like, wanted me in their picture. And I'm like, no, it's okay, I'm good. And, like, ran into the place. And then whenever I had to sign out, because I had to sign in, because it was like a come and go thing. So I go to sign out. They're in front of me again. And they're like, oh, we're going to eat at Chili's. Like, join us. We really wanted you in our picture. And, like, you made us sad that you weren't. And, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have another class because I had an extra class that day. So then I had to run back to the law school and go to civil procedure because I had that extra class. And all this time, like, I have my mom's phone. So I have people who are trying to get in contact with my mom getting in contact with me. And I'm just like, it was a mess that day.
Yeah, it was bad. But luckily, I thought of doing that. Because they ended up calling Belle's phone, and I was like...
Literally right at the start of civil procedure.
So I was just like, well, yeah, no, great. So got the time for furniture drop-off. So Friday, pure chaos, pure insanity.
Yeah, and then I came to meet them down here. To, like, help unload stuff down here and everything. I'm trying to think what all else happened that day.
So much moving.
So much moving happened that day. I didn't eat lunch that day. So, like, it's getting to be, like, what, 8 o'clock-ish? And I'm just like, I am getting dizzy.
So you were struggling. Like, we were all struggling.
Everyone was struggling. Like, everybody was so tired. Our feet hurt, like, XYZ. It was real bad.
So it was just kind of like, okay, well, tomorrow is Saturday, and this is when the furniture comes.
was coming.
Like, we'll figure it out. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to figure it out. And so, figure it out, indeed we did. But they delivered the furniture. That all went well.
We had a bit of a crisis with my set.
A small one, but it's
small
fine.
One. It was fine. It was a lot bigger than I realized it was gonna be. It's fine.
We figured it out.
We figured it out. Like, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
And then I sliced my finger open. Yeah. So, like, and I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm, like, getting ready to faint. And
yeah, it was a great time.
It was a mess.
It was a fantastic time.
Was a mess.
But we got everything in. We got pretty much the bulk of everything moved. That, you know, it was just then, like, little stuff and, like, stuff that could fit in the car. We returned the U-Haul and we were just like, okay. And so that day, I think, is the day, because, yeah, you stayed the day the bed came.
Yeah, so I stayed that night, and Beth stayed that night.
Yes. Our roommate and Belle both stayed at the house. I stayed back at the apartment because it was just like, okay, I've got to work. We're got to work on doing this, work on prepping this. And plus we had Bingley, our cat. So it was just kind of
yeah, because that afternoon, because we got a lot of work done Friday. Like that, it was a miracle how much work got done.
Both Friday and Saturday, we did get
Saturday
a lot.
morning and early afternoon, we got so much stuff done.
Yeah. And because then it got to the point where it's just like, okay, we just got to put stuff away, because we couldn't really put like clothes and stuff away until
we got
the dressers
and the
all
chest
that jazz.
and everything.
So it was just kind of like, okay, well, that's here now. So we just spent a bunch of time just putting away clothes, like just putting away this, putting away that, like finding places to put XYZ.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And so then Sunday we did more just, we started working at the apartment, like trying to clean it and stuff. So that way that was taken care of.
Yeah. Was that day?
No,
that wasn't. That was Sunday was me finishing getting the last of my beds.
Yes.
And getting like my desk set up and everything. Because I had to do some work that day.
Yes. Yeah, that was Sunday because it took longer than anticipated to get that set, but we got it set. We got it figured out. It was all good, and we kept trucking through. And then that was kind of like how the rest of that week went. It was just kind of like, okay, we're going to start here. We're going to work on this. We're going to try to put this away. We're going to try to do this. And we got as much as we physically could. And then it hit the point where it was like, okay, that's it for now. And then our parents ended up leaving on Thursday, I think it was. And by that point, there was still like a bunch of boxes that needed to be gone through and stuff. But it was just like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll work on it.
It wasn't like nothing major.
Yeah, it was just like to the point now because we have about 5 boxes-ish left that we need to like go through.
2 of which are you. One is like a kitchen. The one is staying because it has bathroom stuff for our second bathroom.
Oh, I wasn't even counting that. So 6 boxes.
How are you getting? Oh no, you're right. 6
because I wasn't counting the
2
bathroom.
are yours. 1 I have to deal with. 1 belongs in the kitchen.
Yes. And there's, yeah. And then there's 1 that's just kind of like a mix that we just got to
go through.
Figure it out and find out what we're doing with it. So, yeah, like it's just been like I've been working a good bit on just like a little bit every day, just like trying to like put stuff away, like put stuff where it needs to go, figure out where it needs to go, that kind of thing. Belle has been crazy with work.
Yeah, so like we moved in that week. I would help, but like I'd have schoolwork to do that like week our parents were still here. But I was able to help some. And then the following week, I had my paper due. Mm-hmm. Or no, that week I had my paper due, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was that week.
That week I had my trial brief due. My motion in denial of summary judgment. I had that due for my writing course that week. And so I was like, okay, somehow I did it. Don't ask me how I did it because I sure as heck don't know. It's a blur, honestly. Mm-hmm. A massive blur. And then the next week, I had my oral argument for that motion. And then this past week was midterms. Mm-hmm. So it was like 3 big things happening all at once. So like it was a mess.
Yeah, it was no bueno. And it got to a point where I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to do what I can. And whatever I can't deal with, I'm just going to push to the side. And so I did deal because we had, when our parents left, I think we had about 12 boxes.
I don't remember.
It was like 3 stacks of 4. So yeah, it would be about that much. That's what we had. That's what we had to put away. That's what we had to figure out. And I slowly worked my way through, and now we're down to technically the 6, but the 4 are kind of the main concern that I have, the 4 downstairs. But we're almost through with all that, and then it's just other random stuff. And like there's some stuff that's just going to be a little bit messy until our roommate moves out, because we were kind of counting on being able to put like one thing in there that like takes up a lot of space in the living room now, because it couldn't work in there and it was just like a whole thing. So yeah, we're not doing that.
Not right now.
No.
So we have a big desk just sitting in the living room.
It's fine though. It's stuck to the side. We're good. Like it's fine. We're all good. But yeah, so that's just been the insanity of our lives for the past however long it's been since we last recorded.
Honestly. And this week we've been able to get a good bit done. I'm on spring break.
Yes, and I'm hoping that by the end of your spring break, we're pretty much done.
We should be.
Because we've been doing like a little bit every day. And like that's kind of what we just need to do, is just like, okay, we just need a little bit every day.
Or at least we'll have like mostly everything done. Like there are some things that we need to wait to finish, such as my bookshelves.
Yeah.
Can't set those up yet.
Yeah, and there's just little things like that, but like just trying to get like everything that's like in the common areas like just taken care of kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. It's a process, but we're getting there slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
We are getting there. But yeah, so that's just been the insanity of our lives. And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I think we're to the point where we can start thinking about recording again. And Belle was just like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. The break is over. It's been nice. But we have decided to change up some scheduling stuff. It's not affecting this show. It's just affecting our other podcast. But yeah, it's just because we're also starting another thing too. So
not another podcast.
Not another podcast.
Thank God.
Not another podcast. Because honestly, we've done the 2 that I want to do, or that are more my shows. It's now Belle having to do the shows that she wants to do. And
that's going to take a hot minute.
Yeah, that's going to probably take a couple years. And even then, it might not happen.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up.
So, I mean, but we're just here. We're just living. We're getting used to the new place. I really like this place, to be honest. Like,
I do too. I like my walk.
There are some things that are a little different and like a little scary, and
i.e. gas stove.
Yeah, we have a gas stove now, and we've never had a gas stove in our entire lives. It's always been electric. So yeah, there's a lot of learning going on. We are kind of in the middle of the city, so there's just like things that happen, you know, overnight, that for someone who's used to being in the country and, you know, not anybody around, like it's just a lot of getting used to stuff. But like so far it's been great.
Yeah, it's been lovely. We have a nice little like fenced in yard type deal.
Yeah, a nice
which
little,
is lovely for Piper.
Yeah, nice little backyard. It's not very big. Like she can't like really run around, but it's enough to be able to take her to go to the bathroom, which is really what we wanted anyway.
Yeah.
And she has a little bit of room to run. Instead of running, she likes to dig. So, like, that's a whole thing.
We'll, like, chase her and she'll stop and start digging. It's like, Piper, stop.
Yeah, so that's a whole thing.
But to be fair, when we moved in, there were a bunch of holes from when the owner's dogs dug.
Yes. So we fixed it, though. Or, well...
We keep fixing it.
We keep fixing it. Our dad, like, kind of leveled it out. Piper's trying to ruin that, and we just keep trying to fix it. So we're hoping that like over the summer our dad will be able to come down again and like help us figure it out and actually bring like the stuff that he needs down to fix it, because he was just kind of like making do with whatever he could. But so there's that. What else about here? It's a better walk for you to school.
It's a lovely walk.
We can walk to the post office if we need to.
Yeah, we found that out on Saturday.
We found that out on Saturday.
Yeah, we walked to the post office. Our neighbors are very sweet.
Yeah, both of our neighbors are very nice. And everybody's like really quiet and chill, like neighbor-wise.
Yes,
everybody's
everybody's very quiet and chill.
The people across from us, I don't think we've met, but that's okay. Like,
no, I don't think I've seen anybody who lives across the street.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, we're just very chill and very quiet. And, like, it works out for us that everybody else is just kind of, like, keeps to themselves and is very chill and quiet. So, like...
Yeah. And, like, they're very sweet. They're like, if you need anything, let us know.
Yeah.
Like...
And we're just like, we're gonna try not to do that.
We're gonna try not to do that, but like our neighbors on our one side, they were like really good friends with the owner and his wife when they lived here. And so like, they're very sweet. Both him and his partner are lawyers. So like, our parents like talk to them and like they know I'm in law school. So like they're really sweet about that. And they know that we're blind. So like if there is something happening, our parents are like, if you could help them get out, like if there is an evacuation for a hurricane or something, like if you could just help them get out and we'll pay you to just drop them off somewhere. Like,
yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, like they'll let us know about things and like help us through. The lady's from Florida, so like she knows and doesn't mess around with hurricanes. So like that's nice to know.
Yeah. Because that was, like, the one thing we were a little bit worried about with our roommate leaving. Like, she's the one with the car. She's the one that can drive. And for me, I'm just like, if there's an emergency, though, like, what do we do about that? But, yeah, so we're just kind of vibing, getting used to everything, setting up schedules again, which... It's just going to be a little bit chaotic for probably at least another couple weeks, probably.
And it's not even that chaotic now.
I think it's more chaotic in my head than it actually is in real life.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad. I think in my head is just like, we need to figure out this. And it's just like, well, no, really, like, it's cool. Like, but my brain does not understand that concept. So we're working on it. We're trying. We're figuring it out.
It's fine.
It's fine. But yeah, so we've officially moved. We're officially good to go now to figure out other stuff and go from there and see what we can do, I guess. So that all being said, we want to thank you for coming along today as we just talked about our move and just where we've been. Of course, if you like this episode, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would appreciate the support those actions would give. And hey, if you also want to leave a review, that also helps too. And then what are we going to be talking about next time?
Things that help.
Things that help us. Okay. So we will see you guys then.
Bye.